It's been a rapid 6 months. The season will conclude tonight over the next 3 days to be exact. In Los Angeles, Chavez Ravine as the Rockies take on the division champion LA Dodgers. Beautiful night in Southern California as we welcome you in with my partner Jeff Hewson. I'm Drew Goodman. Glad you're all along tonight. Final 3 ball games of 2014. The Dodgers are division champs. They took care of that Wednesday night in defeating their arch rivals, the San Francisco Giants, 9-1.
Yeah, that had to feel pretty special for them because this is back-to-back years. They've won the National League West, and 4 out of the last 7 years they've done it. It was a pretty close game early on, and then they just steamrolled them, and then they get to celebrate it. And when you're talking about the Giants-Dodgers rivalry, you know this was special, not only because it was against the Giants, but you were able to do it here at home.
They were able to do it at home. They didn't jump in any pools after the game. I guess none were available. But they are champions for the second consecutive year, and they will finish with the second best record in the National League. So they'll have home field until, if they were to get to the National League Championship Series and it was against the Nationals would have home field. But they'll have it for the first series, which will begin next Friday night, and it will come against either the Cardinals or the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, the Pirates are right on the heels of the Cardinals, just a game behind, and the Pirates have Cincinnati, and the Cardinals are down in Arizona, so you're not quite sure how it's all going to play out, but that's why you have scouts advancing different places, because it'll all depend on who they get, but they do know that at least they get this first series at home.
So the Dodgers in a good place. The Rockies have played well against the Dodgers of late. More on that story in a few moments. And we'll check the rotation through the weekend. Jordan Lyles will have it tonight for Colorado. Dodgers are 91 and 68 with 3 to play. The Rockies at 66 and 93. Final weekend of the regular season. A few days ago, the Rockies took on the Dodgers, took 2 of 3 against L.A. back at Coors Field. Upstairs with Jeff Houston, I'm Drew Goodman. Jordan Lyles will take the baseball tonight as we take a look at the pitching matchups throughout this series. And one of the questions going in, you see that Eddie Butler will get his second start, and then Christian Bergman. Would the Dodgers throw their guys? They are probably on a limited number of pitches.
Well, especially with Dan Hare and Zach Greinke on Saturday and Sunday, because those guys really kind of have their spots locked up. Hernandez is another story. He's still fighting to see whether he would be even on the postseason roster. So those young or the older guys will dictate to Don Mattingly, hey, this is how much I want to go. But for tonight, the Rockies have Jordan Lyles, and he wants to finish on a strong note. He doesn't like missing that time. Before the All-Star break, his sinker was a little bit better, but since then, closer to a 5 ERA in his last 9 starts. But this still has to be a win year, in my estimation, for Jordan Lyles, because once again, he's proven he can go out there and he can make 20 starts, which will be his 3rd year in a row. He is a guy now for me, when you start to pencil in guys for spring training next year and where they slot in, that he's got a pretty good foothold on a starting rotation job next year.
Well, he's 7-3. I mean, you're 4 games over 500 on a team that is well beneath 500, so that is impressive. Let's go field level, check in with Mark Stout. Mark, how you doing?
Doing well, guys. It is the final Fan Friday of the year. I am counting on the fans to tweet us at @RootSports_RM. Use the hashtag Toyota Talk as usual. We'll look ahead to next year. We'll try to answer some questions about the Rockies roster. Just hit us up tonight, and we'll do that during the course of this game. Let's go back upstairs.
Sounds like a great plan, Mark. We are ready for baseball. The Rockies look to finish on a high note as they begin this series in Los Angeles. It's Colorado, and it's the LA Dodgers. Come on back to Dodger Stadium with us. Well, Roberto Hernandez in a rush, warmed up very quickly. The first pitch of the ball game in there, strike 1 on Charlie Blackmon. Game number 1, 6-0 tonight for both clubs. And Hernandez misses with the sinker down low. It's 1-1. Roberto Hernandez with an 8-11 record started the season with the Philadelphia Phillies. His ERA with the Phillies actually lower than what he's done with the Dodgers, which doesn't figure. There's a base hit for Charlie. The reason I say that is this is a much better pitcher's park than Citizens Bank. So a lead single for Blackmon as we take a look at the Southwest batting order tonight for Walt Weiss. Rafi Noah who has made a strong impression with a lot of play of late. Nolan Arenado down for the rest of the season with pneumonia. Justin Morneau in the batting title race. We'll keep updating you throughout the evening. Michael Kadire is next, and Drew Stubbs, Willeen Rosario. Josh Rutledge has swung it well against the Dodgers this year. And DJ LeMahieu batting 8th. So here's Enoa. Kind of a real useful player. Huey, as Blackman takes off, hit and run. And stop is made by Turner, and he just did get Enoa.
I thought he had the hole between short and third to squeeze that through on the hit and run.
Well, just as I was saying, he's a very useful player because he can hit in a number of spots in the lineup.
Well, and this is what's valuable for him. If you're going to hit second, he's a switch hitter. He can put the ball in play.
It's a nice play by Turner to redirect to get a piece of that. Let's take a look at some more numbers on Roberto Hernandez, presented by Inova Cancer Care. Non-surgical treatment of prostate cancer. Visit InovaCC.com.
Well, you mentioned it, 2-3 with the .474 ERA and 8 starts with LA. But he hasn't lasted more than 4 1/3 in his last 4 starts, giving up 11 runs in 15 innings, 0-2 during that time. For him, it's going to be sinker, change-up, slider mix. I mean, that's the order in which he throws. Fastball about 65% of the time, change-up 25%, and the rest will be sliders.
Justin Morneau comes into the game with a .317 average. Josh Harrison was 0 for last time we checked.
Yeah, he was 0 for 3 the last time we checked, both he and Andrew McCutchen.
Looks like it's going to go down to probably Sunday. He evidently got a hit in his last at bat because he's back to .318. So right now 1 point separates Harrison, Morneau, and then McCutchen's in it too. As you mentioned, he's just 3 points down with a strong September.
Yeah, and he went 1 for 4 today. It did Andrew.
And ball 4. So a walk to Morneau, 2 on. And Michael Kadire coming up, who has 50 career at bats against Roberto Hernandez. Take a look at the Dodger defense, brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit responsiblebynature.com today to learn more. Carl Crawford's in left. Yasiel Puig is in center. Andre Ethier getting the start for Matt Kemp in right field. Uribe Turner for Hanley Ramirez, who has a kind of a bum elbow. They're going to watch that over the weekend, give him some rest. D. Gordon's in there. Adrian Gonzalez, Drew Butera for A.J. Ellis. So really, of your position players, 6 of your 8 starters next Friday night in Game 1 are in there tonight. And Donnie told us he's going to play his guys because they're going to have 5 days off.
That's the key. I mean, you think back to the World Series run the Rockies had in 07, that long layoff they had and how it hurt the guys. You don't want to be sitting there and sitting your guys down and not have them see regular at-bats. So you look at this next 3 days as making sure you're trying to rev guys up like you would during spring training.
And it comes back to the discussion we had the other day, the point that Walt made, that Tony La Russa had made to him years ago. It's harder to win a division than it is when you get to October and you're trying to win, a few series and become world champions. It becomes the team that, yes, is gifted. You wouldn't be in the playoffs if you weren't, but good plays the best baseball in that short period of time as opposed to over a 6-month period.
Yeah, and when you're having those short series, though, that's where the starters really come into. I mean, they have to be on top of their game, because then you don't want to start running through your bullpen in those quick spurts. And so that's why the Dodgers are going to probably look at on Saturday and Sunday throwing their guys long enough.
Down the line, just foul. Roberto Hernandez has an ERA over 8 against the Rockies in his career, and the Rockies got after him in his last start, September the 15th.
Yeah, and that was a game the Rockies just hammered everything that he threw up there that game. And of course, Willeen Rosario with the home run with 59 pitches in just 3 2/3 innings. Don Mattingly had to go out there and pull him.
And Kadire fouls that pitch off.
But I mean, he's on a list of a few other guys, including Oral Hershiser and Esteban Loaiza, that have not gone 5+ innings in 4 consecutive starts. Hershiser did that in 2000, Loaiza in 2007.
That's why if Hyunjin Ryu is ready to go, and they believe he will be, then it'll be difficult to imagine that Hernandez will be on that 25-man roster. You got to have 4 starting pitchers. Herron would be chosen before Roberto Hernandez.
And you don't need a long man. So, I mean, that's why he's really pitching for a spot on that playoff roster tonight. But it all depends on Ryu. And Ryu, remember earlier this year, he had some issues. He sat out for about 21, 22 days, something like that, came back and didn't have any problems after that.
And they're not worried, as that's inside 2-2, about the fact that he wouldn't have pitched in a game, because he bounces back pretty quickly, and he's the only one of their starters who doesn't throw between starts, doesn't throw a bullpen.
No, so for him, he said, well, I'm sitting down, but I'm resting my shoulder. Everything's good. I'm ready to go.
2 on, 1 out, 2-2 on Kadire. And this is bounced to Uribe, and Gordon will flip to first. It's a 5-4-3 double play to end the top half of the first inning. Jordan Lyles to the Dodger Stadium mound when we come back. Sports is brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. By Inova Cancer Care, taking a novel approach to cancer care. Learn more about prostate cancer treatment at InovaCC.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Without a heart, it's just a machine. Well, Dodger Stadium on Wednesday night was rocking. They had 53,000+ in the house as the Dodgers won 9-1 to clinch the NL West over the Giants. Dee Gordon will lead things off for Don Mattingly. Here's the rest of his Southwest batting order. Yasiel Puig will bat second. Then the RBI leader in the National League, Adrian Gonzalez. In fact, he's the RBI leader in baseball with 112. Justin Turner's been hot since the All-Star break. Carl Crawford has had a great September. Ethier, Uribe, Butera, and Hernandez. And the first pitch from Lyles misses ball 1 on Dee Gordon. He had a big hitting streak earlier in the month, but of late he's been scuffling a little bit. And that's on the inside corner on Gordon.
That's why for somebody like D that doesn't have the experience of maybe a Matt Kemp and all those other guys, these last 8 to 10 at bats are important for him.
He's 0 for his last 14 at the plate. As we look at some more numbers on Jordan Lyles, presented by Inova Cancer Care, non-surgical treatment of prostate cancer. Visit InovaCC.com.
Well, just look at the one-loss record: 7-3 at home. He's 5-1 out on the road, 2-2.
Left center field, and that is going to be a double for Gordon. And if not for that play by Blackman to keep it from going to the wall, it would have been a triple the way Gordon runs.
Well, he went with this sinking fastball.
I don't know who he's waving at, but
I'm not sure either. Maybe mom and dad up in the stands.
Perhaps. Oh, you know what? Okay, we're watching the replay. You know what it was? It looked like, you're right, he was waving to someone. But he wants something to protect his hand, and he was kind of waving toward the dugout. So
okay, that's what it is. But you're right. Charlie had to cut that ball off. He took the correct angle to drop back and angle back towards the wall.
Well,
to keep it from being a triple.
Walt was talking before the game about the versatility of Charlie and how important it is. Because Charlie, he looks at as a center fielder, but he can play right field and he can play left field. So when you have Stubbs in there, and Stubbs is a true center fielder, that's where he's going to play. Kadyr's always played right field. That's where he's going to play when he's in the lineup. So Blackman becomes the swing guy, and he's comfortable in all three spots.
Well, and that's comforting for a manager to have that, where he says, Charlie, today, I know you haven't played left field much this year. Maybe even going back to spring training was the last time, but here you go. I trust that you're going to be able to handle it because I've got Drew in center and Michael in right.
And if you're wondering, with the right-hander Hernandez on the hill, hey, why isn't Corey Dickerson in the lineup and Blackman in center? Because typically Stubbs would not play against the right-hander in that situation. Corey Dickerson is not going to play the rest of the year. Now, he's fine. It's for the right reason. His wife is due any day now back in Mississippi. And so the club clearly wanted Corey to be there, and Corey naturally wanted to be there, so he will not play over the weekend here in LA. 1 ball, 1 strike on Puig.
And because of the expanded rosters, you don't have to put him on the maternity list like you would during the regular season. Paternity.
Yeah, you said maternity.
Yeah,
and we knew what you meant, though.
You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Paternity.
Yeah. His wife would be on the maternity list. He would be on the paternity.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, because he didn't look pregnant last time.
No. I was wondering why you were giving me that quizzical look. I was like, what? What did I say?
Well, I'm so used to you having to give me the quizzical look.
Right.
2-1 on Puig. And a base hit for Puig, and Gordon around third, and he will score, throw to second to get Puig, and he's out. That'll be scored 7-5-4 on the putout on Puig. It's 1-0 Los Angeles for Puig, his 69th RBI.
Oh, with the runner at second base, you're thinking he's going to try to hit the ball to the right side. Well, it was a ball that was down, and he was able to go out and hook it into that 5.5 hole. Charlie comes up, makes a strong throw, but more importantly, he hits the cutoff man. Of course, Rafi hears and can see that runner was going to second base. Easy throw to second to get Puig.
Rockies employ a shift with Adrian Gonzalez, and he fires at the first pitch and fouls it straight back. Adrian's 0 for 13. He's had another typical Adrian Gonzalez year.
You can rack him up for 100 RBIs every year.
And he never misses either. 273 average, leads the club with 25 home runs, leads baseball with 112 ribbies. He has 40 doubles. He's got great hands on defense. Probably one of the more, because he's not, a real outspoken guy. He's a mild-mannered guy, good guy. But maybe is underappreciated around baseball by fans. If you realize how good a player this guy is.
But not by those numbers. I mean, they're just off the chart, consistent every year.
This is popped up, playable in foul ground for Willeen. He's got it. 2 outs. Let's check the Rockies gloves while we have a moment. Brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit responsiblebynature.com today to learn more. Blackman, Stubbs, Kadire. We discussed the outfield. Enoa again at third for Nolan Arenado. Rutledge, LeMahieu up the middle. Morneau and Rosario behind the plate. And Rafi came out of the Dodger organization, and he got a big bear hug from Don Mattingly before the ball game when the Rockies were done stretching. Donnie took a moment to go over to him. He said, "Man," he goes, "you're hitting everything." And he said, "I'm really happy for you."
Who wouldn't be?
No, really, we've gotten to know him a little bit the last month. Very likable young man. As Justin Turner steps in.
He just goes about his business. He goes out there and he's professional each night.
Line drive off the end of the bat. LeMahieu's there, and he'll throw out Turner. In the inning, D. Gordon snapped out of an 0 for 14 with a double, and then Puig brought him around, so the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead.
The second final Fan Friday of the year. Got the mini iPad here. Use the hashtag Toyota Talk. Hit us up at @RootSports_RM. First one coming from Melanie. She sees Enoa making a nice little mark here late in the year. So, Jeff, when you're talking about utility players maybe next year, is it Enoa? Is it Culberson? I already like what Rafi did today where, that hit and run, and then he had the cutoff and threw the guy out at second.
Well, I think he's made a case for himself where he sits there and says, I have to be considered for the utility role because two things. One, I look at his defense first and foremost because for a guy that's a utility guy, not going to play all the time, you got to make sure he can catch the ball. And Rafi's shown that he can do that, especially at third base. So that gives him a leg up in my mind. Plus, he's a switch hitter. Now, Charlie's had some struggles offensively this year, and for Rafi, it hasn't been a whole lot of at-bats, but a small enough sample size where you say, well, he's going to put the ball in play.
He can handle it. The easy comparison, but it's one that keeps coming to mind, and I think it is with the organization also, is Johnny Herrera, who is very popular and did a very good job in that utility role, middle infield utility role. Stubbs strikes out. That's the first strikeout for Hernandez, and Willeen Rosario will come up. Who wants tacos? Remember, when the Rockies score 7 or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6. Get your Rockies taco special. La Masa Taco Bell. Willeen 0 for 8 down in San Diego. Rockies took 1 of 3 against the Padres. They won that season series 10-9. As we've discussed, they took the season series from Arizona, took the season series from the Giants. Last year, they took the season series from the Dodgers, 10-9. This year, that won't happen, as the Dodgers have already won 10 of 16. But it's kind of been an interesting year between these two clubs. The Rockies got off to the fast start. They came here, took 2 of 3. They won 3 of the first 5 ball games against LA this year, then lost 6 straight. And now they've won 3 of 5.
Just kind of the way the season has unfolded. But the Dodgers early on weren't playing their best baseball, but they were 9.5 games back. All the way, think back to June 8th. 9.5 back. And then they come on and play some of the best ball that they've done the last 2.5 months.
They remind me a little bit of the A's back 40 years ago, the Yankees at different times under the late George Steinbrenner and Billy Martin, the late Billy Martin, in that there was always other stuff going on. And you couldn't go a week with the Dodgers without something being reported of, you know, so-and-so wasn't getting along with this guy was disgruntled, this guy would prefer to be playing somewhere else, and yet anybody from afar would look at as, man, that's a really talented club. Can't they just get along?
It kind of sounds like some junior high stuff going on. I mean, but Don Mattingly, he dealt with it in New York. So if anybody understands the dynamics of a clubhouse and how you have to make sure, even if you're not thinking you're getting the playing time that you want, he knows that. He's been there. So for Don Mattingly to be able to say, okay, enough, guys, but we still have to go out and play.
Yeah, you know, we just showed you Andre Ethier. Ethier's kind of been the odd man out. Matt Kemp felt like the odd man out earlier. Now he's happy because he's swinging the bat great. He's starting. Then he was upset when he was playing a lot, but he was removed from center field. I mean, look, even 2 weeks ago when they were in town, he and Puig got into it in the dugout.
That's what I mean. It never really stopped, even when they were winning.
So a 1-out walk to Aline, second walk by Hernandez. That'll bring up Rutledge. Let's take a look at our Steel T Heating and Air Cool Stat. Never a trip charge for repair. $69 value. Steel T, the T stands for trust. Go to steelt.com. The Rockies in September 12-4 against the West. The Dodgers all year have played great baseball inside the division. In fact, they're 47-26 inside the division, which is a remarkable record, and it's really why they've ended up winning the division. Against the other divisions in the American League, they have, you know, just okay numbers.
18-14 against the East. They're below 500 against the Central at 15-19. They really cleaned up out on the road. 49-32.
Hey, isn't that something?
Yeah.
You think a team this talented in their home ballpark would dominate, but it doesn't matter now. They've won the division, and for them the focus will begin next Friday on what they can get done in the postseason. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rutledge. 1-2. Josh hitting .357 against Dodger pitching this year. Not surprisingly, an ideal Southern California evening for baseball. That's off his foot. It's actually typically a little bit warmer in the evening in September than it is sometimes in the middle of the summer.
The two cities, I mean, we're talking about San Diego and LA to end the year.
There's worse places to be. Auto glass damage, trust Safelite. Online at safelite.com or on the phone at 303-287-5000.
Although it was pretty warm back in Denver today.
Rutledge strikes out, and that'll bring up LeMahieu.
second baseman, number 9, DJ LeMahieu.
DJ steps in, trying at the very least flip the lineup over here in the second inning. I was talking to DJ before the ball game, and very humble guy, quiet, professional as all get at. We were talking about the Gold Glove, and listen, anybody tells you they don't think about it when you know they're going to be high up in the conversation is being somewhat dishonest. And he said, no, I'm honored that I'm in the conversation, and I would love to win one, because it validates what we see every night covering the Rockies, that this kid is an extraordinary fielder.
He just doesn't want to bring any attention to himself, but he would just really enjoy being able to say, hey, I won a Gold Glove. I mean, the guys for me that are going to be in the conversation would be the guy on second base tonight, D. Gordon. He'll be in there. You look at second baseman for the Reds, Brandon Phillips. He's always in the conversation. But D. Gordon, he's good, but his range factor is not what DJ is. His assist, we chronicled that the other day in San Diego.
Made 11 errors on the right side also.
And his fielding percentage is 6th in the National League compared to DJ's.
Uribe throws out DJ to end the inning. Rosario left aboard. He had walked. Middle of 2-1, nothing LA. Driving in Gordon. Carl Crawford will be first in inning number 2 against Jordan Lyles. Tweet us your Rockies fan photos. Running out of ball games, just 3 left. Use the hashtag COFanPhoto. And maybe we'll sneak it in before the end of the season. It's brought to you each night and all season long by AT&T. Drew Goodman, Jeff Hewson, Mark Stout on this Fan Friday, final Fan Friday of 2014. Crawford leading all of baseball, swinging the bat in September. He's hitting .433 in September. Said this when we saw the Dodgers at Coors Field, Huey, that Carl Crawford's playing like he did in Tampa.
Well, everything's healthy now. I mean, he had the hamstring for a while, and he's always been battling since he left Tampa Bay with the Tommy John in the left arm. So that's all healthy. So he's feeling like he can go out there and perform now because there's no limitations.
2-0's in there, 2-1. Home plate umpire tonight is Jim Reynolds. Fielding Colbreth, Mike Estabrook, and Manny Gonzalez first through third. There's an average in the month of September. Wallin on that list right behind Crawford. And this one is roped to right center field. Michael Kadire cuts it off, holds Crawford to a single. So we got speed aboard in Crawford, a guy who's stolen 50 or more bases 5 different times.
You can follow the playoffs, the Rockies, everybody with MLB.com and BAT, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone or tablet. Get replay reviews, scores, stats, audio, and more. Download at BAT on the App Store or visit Rockies.com/mobile today.
That looks like a cross between Elvis and Mike Piazza. Andre Ethier.
I think that might be a first to see Elvis at a Dodger game. I've seen him in Vegas before, but but not here.
Can't imagine that it's his first time, though. Fastball down low, 1-0 on Ethier. He's done a good job coming off the bench now. He's handling that pinch hitting role, and that's probably the role he's going to have in the postseason.
It's a hard adjustment, though, for somebody that's been a starter their whole career.
Not only a starter, but a star. I mean,
yeah,
you're talking about an extra player who's making. I got to check what his number is now, but he's making a huge amount of money. I think it's $15 million to come off the bench.
But that's kind of the Dodger payroll now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like the old
utility
Yankees.
guy's making 12.
Yeah,
right?
It's the old Yankees.
I don't even know, Huey. I get your point, and you're right. But this is a completely different stratosphere that the Dodgers are operating in.
When you're talking over 200 million, closer to 220, 230.
3-1.
Third year of a 5-year deal for Andre. Total 85 million.
It was only about 2 years ago that $100 million contracts were still so rare that the Rockies were right behind the Yankees and the Red Sox, I believe, also as teams that had given out $100 million deals. So the Rockies did it with Helton. They did it with Tulowitzki. Ball's fouled off. And they had done it with Mike Hampton. Runner going, fouled off. So suffice it to say that nobody that puts on a Dodger uniform has to hitchhike to the stadium.
Or nobody's worried about if they go out for a team dinner picking up a check?
Probably not.
Well, from the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like they have too many of those team dinners.
No.
A lot of individuals.
Right. Maybe Jock Peterson. That would hurt Jock Peterson, their prized rookie. Sure, Crawford will be moving again. See if Lyles checks on him. First, they got to get on the same page, so Rosario will go out.
Well, and for the middle infielders, you got to see what the sign is, and you might flip-flop coverage. If it's going to be a fastball away, you might have Josh stay at home and have DJ cover.
Here goes the runner, and this is shallow left field, and
they got him at
Blackman will
first.
get there, and a good throw will get him. It's on line. Good pickup by Morneau, and they double him up because Crawford was running, and he was past second base. He had made the turn.
That was bad base running on Carl Crawford's part. Good play by Charlie to go over there and get it. But if you know you're running, I mean, you can't go all the way around second base unless you see the ball down. Well, Carl Crawford's 3 strides around it, then he has to circle back, strong throw in. That's not even close. Watch Crawford now. Up. Now you know you're in no man's land. No chance to get back with the strong arm of Blackman.
Right, it's a right field arm in left field.
Yes.
2 gone, and here's Juan Uribe. And 2 hops to third. Noah's got it, and he throws out Uribe. So we'll go to the 3rd inning. Dodgers up 1-0 in Los Angeles.
Welcome back. Top of the 3rd inning. How about the Washington Nationals and Doug Fister today? The studio was right. Fister with the complete game to seal it up with the best record in the National League. Well, the Nationals have a very good pitching staff, and their bullpen that's their strong suit. 94-65 on the year. If you're thinking, well, what happens if the Dodgers tie them? Well, it doesn't matter because the Nationals have the tiebreaker between Washington and LA.
Yeah, that's why. Huey, you hear me now?
I got you now.
We had a
little malfunction.
A little malfunction. Washington's had an extraordinary year. They got a great pitching staff. Start breaking down the teams that are headed to the postseason in the National League. You know, teams we're most familiar with. Nationals, great rotation. Good bullpen, really good bullpen. Cardinals have a good bullpen. Their staff's led by Adam Wainwright. Dodgers, pitching rich throughout the years, led by the best pitcher on the planet. That is down the line. Extra bases for Jordan Lyles. Going to roll around in the corner, and Jordan Lyles, who can swing it, has got a double leading off the third inning. Well done, Jordan Lyles.
Finally hooked one that he'd been trying to get, that sinker that had been inside. Keep him from fouling off right by his ankle, but that one was up. Just thank you. Uribe's playing off the line, not thinking he'll pull the baseball. Easy double for Jordan.
Yeah, just to finish the thought, the Dodgers, you know, you're led by Clayton Kershaw. He'd be the #1 guy on any staff for years and years in baseball, right? And then you have the Pirates and the Giants. But the thing about the Dodgers, it's a little different. Their bullpen is shaky. Their bullpen is a bottom third bullpen this year, which is unusual for LA.
Yeah, compared to the other ball clubs, they're down at 13th as far as where they kind of rank overall, not only ERAs and all of that. That's why the Nationals are at the top of that list, because they've got the starters, but they've got the back end guys to close it out.
1-1 on Blackman, who singled sharply his first time up. Kenley Jansen is a good ninth inning guy. J.P. Howells had a great season in the bullpen for the Dodgers, but they still are running Brian Wilson out in the 8th inning. That's not the Brian Wilson from San Francisco.
No, it's not the 95 to 97 miles an hour guy. He still can flash in the 90s, but we've seen some 88s, 89s.
Stay fair.
Oh, that's right on the
roll
paint.
On that line. It came back fair. How do you like that?
Well, you could just hear the sound of that when he laid down the bunt. And it wasn't a crisp, solid sound, but that's what you want on a bunt, because he caught it right at the end, right where that cup or the last 2 inches of the bat are.
It's really a great play by Charlie, because it's a bonus that he reached, but at the very least, he's going to move the runner up 90 feet.
Well, and he also has a chance now, if you wanted to try to steal a bag.
Well, I'm sure he'd be very interested in getting to that 30 mark. He's 2 away. Rafael Inoa executed a hit and run very well his first time up, and if not for a very good play by Justin Turner, he would have snuck it through that left side. Good swing there. You can see he was trying to lift the baseball, work the bottom half of the baseball.
For hitters, when you're thinking about that, you'll kind of think about dropping that back shoulder to make sure you create the lift. Really pull the hands in first. That helps the barrel and the direction that it goes as you go to attack the baseball. Because the hardest thing against a guy like Hernandez, who's more of a sinker ball pitcher, is to get the ball in the air.
Walt was talking about how diligent Charlie was in working on his speed in the offseason. He's always been a fast guy, but became maybe a half a step quicker with the work. This is bounce to second. Gordon did not handle it. That's his 12th error. Everybody's safe. Rockies have tied it up on what should have been a double play ball, and the run still would have scored. Now it's going to be a straight E4, and you can't assume a double play, so Inoa will get the RBI.
His 9th RBI, his 8th hitting left-handed. Boy, if you looked at TaylorMade in the dictionary, that would have been the case with that ground ball, and D. Gordon just forgot to field it first. He was thinking about the flip to second.
So Justin Morneau, who walked his first time, is up with 2 on and nobody out. Well, congratulations to the Kansas City Royals. The drought is over. They won 3-1 on the south side of Chicago tonight. Improved to 86-72, or 88-72, I should say. And they have clinched a spot in the postseason in the American League. Been a long time.
1985.
That's a long time.
It's one of the longest active playoff droughts in all 4 of the major sports.
Wasn't even born in '85, Huey. Maybe I was.
That was my first senior year of college.
Your first senior year? Uh-oh. Blackman got picked off. Not good. And he may have been thinking about trying to swipe third.
Yes,
and
he was.
Hernandez got him.
Yeah, Charlie was looking to go, and that was just a spin move. Quick feet from Hernandez.
1-6-5, first out. He knows at first base. Driven to center field and deep, and Puig's going to watch it sail out of the ballpark. 2-run home run for Justin Morneau, his 17th of the year, and the Rockies take a 3-1 lead. That helps on the scoreboard, and it helps the old batting average in that race to win the batting title in the NL.
I knew he got it, but I wasn't sure it was going to go that far. I was watching the center fielder and Puig. You can see on that where the full extension comes from. That's why he hit it out. Palm up, palm down on the swing, as we like to say in baseball circles. And then hit that back wall.
Now I'm sure Charlie feels really awful about getting picked off. Oh, 1, and this is popped up. Hernandez thought about taking it, and Butera makes a catch. That thing wanted to crawl out of his glove.
Wasn't real secure when he went in to settle underneath that. Back to that Justin swing. Sinker down and away. And he kept both hands on that swing because he didn't need to create any extra length. He had enough just from his long arms and then the barrel of the bat tracking that ball.
Stubbs takes strike 1. If Drew has a good series, he can get that average above 290. It's 289 coming in. He's had a real fine year.
Talk about having to adjust to a different role. Not playing all the time like he had in Cincinnati and even some in Cleveland. But coming here, being that 4th outfielder, spot starter, and then when some guys went down, he was every day. We've really adjusted to the role that was asked of him by Walt and the staff.
He's a guy that will never say a word. He's not going to ruffle feathers. He is a pro. Managers appreciate guys like that. You know that.
Yes, they do.
Called strike 3. And Stubbs is fanned by Hernandez for the 2nd time tonight. Rockies have taken the lead. They get 3 runs in the inning, including a 2-run home run from Justin Morneau. And it's 3-1 Colorado.
And the Rockies have taken a 3-1 lead over the Dodgers. Fan Friday, final one of the year. Getting some of your tweets at @RootSports_RM. Use that hashtag Toyota Talk. And here's Troy, who sent a couple in, guys, asking about two lefties out of the bullpen, Rex Brothers and Boone Logan. Walt Weiss discussed both today. But I just wonder what your take is on those two lefties, their seasons, and looking forward to next year.
Well, Boone Logan's got to get healthy. He was on the DL 4 different times, and he had the bone spurs that were cleaned up, I believe, in October of last year, and was on the DL initially at the start of this season. He needs good health. When he's healthy, Boone Logan has a long track record of being one of the top left-handers in the game. And in the case, for me, of Rex Brothers, he just has to wipe out this year. You learn from this year. But he was a dominant guy a year ago, so you know what's in there.
Yeah, I think that's the key. You learn from it, but then you discard it, if that makes sense, because you need to go into this offseason and say, well, what was wrong? What happened last year? Why was I not as good as I was the year before? Was it mechanically? Was it mental? What was it? Figure that out and then say, okay, that's what I need to do this offseason. So you kind of put that out of your mind, but you do have to look at why things went south. I mean, I think every player, if you're honest about it and you evaluate and you're a self-evaluator, you do that first and then you move forward.
There's another lefty that, if all had gone the way the Rockies thought it would in spring training, Franklin Morales would have been in the bullpen. And Frankie, to his credit, earned a spot in the rotation. And there were so many injuries that most of Franklin's work came out of the rotation, but he's probably better suited to being, a power arm coming out, in the 6th inning, that sort of thing, out of that pen.
Well, and that was part of the problem for Rex this year, because sometimes he was the only left-hander that was down there, and that maybe they used him at times where they really would have liked to stay off him, but they couldn't because they've got this left-hander out there that we need to try to get out to win this game.
Drew Butera fouled it off his leg.
Yeah, he's a catcher.
Actually, his foot. Former Minnesota Twin.
Dad was a former catcher.
Yes, he was.
I saw Drew a few years back down in the Dominican playing in the winter leagues down there.
And Drew will be the backup catcher in the postseason to A.J. Ellis. Dodgers picked him up around the trade deadline last year.
He's a good catch and throw guy.
Yes.
Probably not going to play, but if something happens, they need somebody to handle that staff.
And a strikeout of Butera by Lyles. That's the first of the evening for Jordan. And that'll bring up Roberto Hernandez.
Pitching number 55, Roberto Hernandez.
Here's our farmland. What's cooking down on the farmland? Down on the farm, I should say. Farmland. Passion for pork since 1959. Taylor Featherston's a name you need to know. He's an infielder that the Rockies took out of TCU back in 2011. In the last couple of years, Huey, you and I have noticed this guy hits. And he did at Tulsa this year again. 16 home runs, a second baseman primarily with pop.
Well, and he's also going to go to the Arizona Fall League, so that will help him. He'll have another 6 weeks of development down there, going against some of the best players in other minor league systems. But he also has to kind of show the ability. Can he move over to third, maybe play some third, second? He can play some short. So it's all in there for him. But just this refining those skills.
Now, once you've made it at Double-A, you're knocking at the door of the big leagues. And sometimes you're just an injury away. The day after every Rockies victory, get 40% off your online order at Papa John's. The promo code is ROCKSWIN. PapaJohns.com. One, two, and Roberto flails a slider. 2 outs. And that'll bring up D. Gordon.
Second baseman number 9, D. Gordon.
Subaru brings you the manager's challenge. If there's a questionable call, instant replay will be used. It's brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. 2-run home run by Justin Morneau. Rockies up 3-1. Morneau tonight 1 for 1 and a walk.
He's up to 319. Josh Harrison at 318.
Two strikes on Gordon.
We saw earlier this year, even with 2 strikes, Gordon's not afraid to bunt. Tried it a couple times in one game earlier this year out here in LA.
That's why he knows even with the bag. And ooh, this is off of Jordan. And where this thing lands, Gordon's going to end up at second. Standing up. That's his second double. Not too many guys can ricochet one off the pitcher's foot and end up at second base.
This goes off Jordan's ankle. Outside part of the ankle. Let's keep an eye on that here in the next inning or two. See if that swells up. This looked like it got all bone. Charlie, his only hope was to barehand it and maybe throw out or even make it close at second base to get Gordon.
Puig singled in Gordon in the first inning. 2 outs. Two-strike count on Puig.
Just looking at Puig where he stands in the box. It's not all the way back like where most guys stand. It's about 6 inches. Look at this little mark right there. That's right where most of the guys are putting their foot.
One and two on Puig. Strike three, inside corner. Good pitch by Lyles. So that'll get the Rockies off the field. Gordon left at second base. Colorado 3 and the Dodgers 1 as we go to the 4th. Well, I hate to agree with you guys, but no, I don't. I think it's Mike Trout's award. Yes, Jenny makes a great point. His numbers are down from the previous 2 years when he was runner-up to a guy who's put up stupid numbers in Miguel Cabrera. Mike Trout is all around the best player in baseball, and hitting in that 2 spot, 110 RBIs, Huey, and the ways that he can impact a game, he's extraordinary.
Yeah, he leads in total bases, stolen bases, he's up there. I mean, everything about Mike Trout, plus he's playing on a club that has the best record in the American League, so that gives him another sliver of all those votes together. There's one guy on that list, though, you and I have kind of been bantering back and forth as far as guys that maybe don't get the recognition that they do, but he's going to get some votes. Jose Altuve.
Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. Jose Altuve, folks, you got a second, run his numbers on the computer. He's what is he, 220 hits now, somewhere in that neighborhood?
Yeah, the most hits by a second baseman, I mean, in like 50 or 60 years, something ridiculous like that.
50-plus stolen bases.
Yes, leads the league in stolen bases.
He leads the big leagues in batting average, above 340. He can field. And I know, yes, he doesn't play on a great team, but he goes out there every single day, and he does deserve consideration. He's not going to win it, but he gets a big honorable mention from us.
He's hitting 343. He's got 222 hits. The only player in the American League with over 200 hits.
Well, let's get Mark's selection for American League MVP. Mark is generally a contrarian. Let's see what he feels on this particular award.
Well, the guy that I picked was a former teammate of Jose Altuve's at Houston and kind of came out of nowhere, and that's J.D. Martinez of the Tigers. Tigers, of course, atop the AL Central. This guy joined the team on April the 21st. He's been over 315 most of the year, 23 homers, 76 ribbies. I just think that he's been so key to that Tigers team that he has to get at least a mention too, and he'll probably get a few votes. He's a guy that the Astros released him.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. For me, he deserves an honorable mention. But I understand why some people would feel that. We'll do our National League MVP a little bit later, and that will open up a nice debate.
That one's going to be a little bit more of a debate.
I have some arguments for you.
I have some arguments for my side as well.
Sure you do.
Nobody even picked Jose Abreu. And I mean,
he'll win an award.
He'll win an award, but his numbers are pretty remarkable for a first-year player.
First year, 5th year, 10th year. He's had a great season for the White Sox. 2 outs is LeMahieu skies to right. That'll bring up Jordan Lyles, who doubled last inning and started a 3-run rally. Rutledge at first after being hit by a pitch. Lays down a bunt. Hernandez throws to Gonzalez, and that's all for the Rockies in the 4th inning. Middle of 4, Rockies leading the Dodgers 3-1 in Los Angeles. 6-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Time now for the Lowe's Never Stop Improving stat. Well, this is interesting. Shortest time between no-hitters by teammates since 1900. Earlier this year, just 24 days separated Beckett's no-hitter and Kershaw's no-hitter of the Rockies. You have to go back to the early part of the 20th century last time guys had no-hitters in a shorter span.
They're replaying the Kershaw no-hitter today here at the ballpark in the food media room. We don't need a.
And I thought, you know what? I thought that was appropriate that you stood up, got up on a chair, and turned off the television.
I tried to, but I couldn't reach it.
Josh Beckett not healthy. See him in the dugout there. Adrian Gonzalez will lead it off in the fourth, then Turner and Crawford. 7th season for Adrian of at least 20 home runs and 90 RBIs. That'll go foul.
Just seems more comfortable. Remember, he had that 1 year out in Boston. Just he played for San Diego, was out there, and then got traded back here. It just seemed like he's more of a West Coast guy.
And sometimes, you know, guys are more comfortable in a certain place. I mean, he's a West Coast kid. I mean, he grew up down in San Diego and close to his folks. His off-season home is in San Diego. One ball, one strike on Adrian. The Ford Strike Zone is powered by Built Ford Tough trucks. Built better, built stronger. Built Ford Tough. No wonder Ford F-Series are the best-selling trucks 37 years in a row. That's inside, 2-1. Lyles gave up a run in the first. Rockies got 3 in the third inning. 3-1 is where we stand. The hits even at 4 apiece. 3-1. Dodgers have been hot with the bats. Last 6 games, they've scored 44 runs.
Really what they've been doing all September.
Blackman's going to have a play.
Shortstop number 10, Justin Turner.
Justin Turner. Last time Dodger fans saw him, he was belting a couple home runs on Tuesday night against the Giants. You looked at his numbers in the second half, and he doesn't play every day. But when Don Mattingly taps him on the shoulders, says, I need you tonight, I mean, he's put up Little League numbers.
Yeah, remember they needed him for a while to play every day when Uribe was out. So he had to go out there and play, and then when Uribe came back, Hanley Ramirez got hurt.
Yep. And listen, I mean, Hanley's battled that elbow. He'll probably get most of this weekend off. But if he were to go down or couldn't go in the postseason, he's more than capable of swinging it. I mean, look at the second half, 374. It's on the ground to DJ, and you never reach if you hit it at DJ. 2 outs. Carl Crawford will come up. Crawford singled sharply to right center his initial at bat.
Keeping an eye on the scoreboard, St. Louis is beating Arizona 4-2 tonight, when they need to win to keep pace with Pittsburgh, who won earlier. Stay ahead of them.
Well, Arizona made a move earlier today, and this is not a surprise. Kirk Gibson was relieved of his duties as manager of the Diamondbacks. Tony La Russa made the announcement. Alan Trammell, his bench coach, also let go. Line drive to left field, handled by Blackman. Talk a little bit more about that when we come back. Rockies enjoying a 3-1 lead as we go to the fifth. Good work by Jordan Lyles.
So Michael Kadire is due to hit fourth, and here on Fan Friday, use the hashtag Toyota Talk at @RootSports_RM. Tristan and a bunch of people have tweeted this. Michael Kadire, free agent after this year. His 3-year deal with the Rockies is up. Will he be back? Now, Drew, I know that you sat down with Cuddy when we were home last week and talked to him a little bit about that. I'd just like to get your guys' comments on Michael Kadire. If you think he'll be back, what the Rockies will do with Michael.
Well, Walt's made it very clear. Walt wants Michael back very badly. I think anybody who follows the Rockies, whether you're us, and I include George in us who sit up here and watch him every night and deal with him on a day-to-day basis, you want him in the fold for two reasons. Number one, he can flat out still rake.
Yes.
And number two is that he is a great influence in that clubhouse. You can't have, all guys who are, young and upcoming. You need some veteran guys, and if you could have he and Morneau leading that veteran group of position players, you would be the envy of most teams in baseball.
You would, and I look at this year for him kind of as an aberration because he hurt his left shoulder playing third base, diving for a baseball. The other one, the hamstring, that happens to any player. But for Michael, I think he would like to come back. It's just a matter of where he fits. But I know just talking to various players and coaches and Walt that they have nothing but praise for this guy. And we've had the luxury of watching him for 3 years. We didn't know what it was going to be like when he first came over because you see him from afar. You hear about a guy. But since he's been here, he's been everything and more that you could ever want in a player.
This ball is belted to right center field and deep, and it is caught by Puig. He made that look easy.
Yeah, he did.
Off the bat, you thought that was going to be at the very least a tweener, so Blackman gives it a ride. To finish up the conversation on Kadire, what you don't know is what the Rockies do in the offseason in terms of moves to free up space, because you have a logjam in the outfield. You have Morneau coming back at first base, and the two places that Justin plays, right field and first base. Cargo's going to be back. So there's, at least healthy. What does the club do, if anything, move-wise? And then who else enters the picture that makes an offer? Because he's going to have some offers. I mean, he's a coveted guy.
Yeah, I was talking to some scouts, and then they were still looking at him and really just breaking down his swing and said this guy still has the bat speed. That there's nothing gone with that. The bat speed's still there. He can hit. He's a pro's pro.
1-1 on Rafi Noah. 2-1.
September is Reptember at your local dugout stores. All replica jerseys, including adult, ladies, and youth sizes, are 25% off during Reptember at the Rockies dugout store. Stop by any of our 6 locations today for this great deal. The Rockies dugout stores are the place for all things Rockies.
I'll make one more point about Michael Kadire and why he is so valuable to this club. The 2 best batting averages, highest batting averages on the road for the Rockies this year are the 2 former Twins. Morneau came into the ballgame hitting .306 on the road.
Yep.
Michael Kadire came into the ballgame at more than 100 at bats, hitting .284 on the road. And this is a club, as we all know, historically, that hits well at home and doesn't hit very well on the road. Well, those are 2 guys that the splits are not ridiculous.
They say if you can hit, you can hit. That doesn't matter. You put me in Jellystone Park, I'm going to hit there.
This is a high fly ball to right. 8th year will make the catch. 2 gone. As Morneau's retired for the first time tonight, to walk in a 2-run home run. And that'll bring up the aforementioned Kadire. And Kadire has, we've talked about it a number of times. And Michael makes his home, full-time home on the East Coast, just outside of Washington in suburban Virginia. But he and his family, his young family, they love Colorado. So he would welcome an opportunity to come back, and he thinks that this year as a whole was an aberration with all of the injuries. The Rockies could bounce back and be very good next year. So there's great appeal to Colorado personally for Michael, but it comes down to business.
Oh, with a base runner on, you have to keep your hand available to make a transfer, but it's supposed to be behind the glove, not sitting freely. With nobody on, you tuck it behind your right leg, so you don't get that.
Yeah, there's 2. You're right. And there's 2 schools of thought. I know that there's guys that teach at this level where if your hand is where his is, that it's really unusual for it to be hit because it's protected by the glove.
Yeah.
This ball is lined by Kadire toward Crawford, who makes a running catch, and that'll end the inning. It looks like Butera's okay. Can't hit it better than that. Rockies hit a couple balls hard in the inning. Nothing to show for it. 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Stadium beyond right field. And the Rockies up 3-1 as we go bottom 5 here in LA. Let's get you tonight's Coors Timeless Moment. And this has to do with the Rockies skipper, Walt Weiss. It was on this day in 1987 that Walt Weiss got his first start in the big leagues. He had been up with the Oakland A's. He was the September call-up, and he finally got a start at shortstop for Oakland. They lost the game 3-2. He went 1 for 2. He had his first hit, which was a double. He also struck out, scored his first run in that game. And, guys, he was pinch hit for by Reggie Jackson. We talked about that today. He's like, yeah, that guy was pretty good, Reggie Jackson. Mike Gallego would come in and play short for him on this day in 1987.
What did Walt say to you when you brought that up today, Mark?
He said something like, do you know who my prom date was in high school? You know all that? I said, Walt, it's common knowledge. It was your first start. He was talking about, who did he say got hurt?
Alfredo Griffin.
Alfredo Griffin.
Yeah, Alfredo Griffin.
He was, I think he said he was diving into first base. And he broke a finger, and so then Walt was in. There's Willeen.
Butera one inning.
Yeah.
Now Willeen.
You'll get these type more when you have a sinker ball pitcher, and both teams do tonight. You'll have the miss hits. Now notice where Willeen's hand is. Now that goes off his elbow, but think back to last inning with Butera. He had his down. See where his is? And Willeen, because nobody was on, he dropped it behind his right leg, so it couldn't catch a finger. But this was his shoulder, elbow. Trainers, does this hurt? Yeah. How about this? Yeah, that hurts too. I just fouled the ball off it.
I was kidding him today. I was grabbing his. I mean, he's a thick, strong guy, and I was grabbing his arm. So you can get in the weight room anytime soon. You gonna lift over the winter? He's put together. He's a thick kid. Yep, I'm fine. You ever seen a catcher go, "I'm not fine. I got to come out"?
No,
it doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. When you sign up for that, you have to be tough.
Feels terrible, but I'm good. I mean, right? It was a grimace with every throw, but I'm fine.
Yeah, it still hurt when I caught the baseball. Yeah, don't even look at it.
0-2 the count on Ethier. Jordan Lyles working here in the 5th inning. And he waved foul tip.
Okay.
Yep, foul tip. I thought he went also, but home plate umpire Jim Reynolds said it's a foul tip. Strike 3. That is the 4th strikeout for Jordan Lyles.
He's kind of rolling along here since that first inning. Foul tip into the glove. Willeen hangs on to it. See, there was nothing wrong with that foul tip. I took off my arm. I could catch it.
Juan Uribe bounced to third in his initial at bat. A ball and a strike on Uribe. Brought a .311 batting average, Huey, into the ball game tonight. That'd be a career high for Juan. He was supposed to be done 2 years ago, wasn't he?
Well, in San Francisco, signed that deal there. They couldn't wait to run him out of town.
This is fisted slowly to second, and DJ's got it no problem. He's everywhere. 2 outs. Well, that foul tip is sometimes tough to decipher for a home plate umpire, for more on what they're looking for and how they figure it out. Here's Chris Ciccione, Major League umpire.
Foul tip, you have to hear it hit the bat, and the catcher catches it. So that would be a foul tip. And as a home plate umpire, you can't, not always, but for the most part, you can't see it hit the dirt. You have a lot of things in front of you, and the speed of it, you just can't see it.
That's a good description. That's where usually you try to get help on those balls. We had one in San Diego that way.
Yes. But you can't see this go off the bat, but you can. He hears it, and then hear it again when it hits the glove. See if you can listen for this. Boy, ever so faint.
Two and two on Drew Butera. Rockies leading 3-1. Line drive caught by Rafi Inoa. Great grab. Another 1-2-3 inning. That's 7 in a row retired now by Jordan Lyles. We'll go to the 6th inning. Rockies up 3-1.
Going with Clayton Kershaw. They have their own award in the Cy Young. I believe Andrew McCutchen last year was the MVP. His numbers are similar this year. They're going back to the playoffs. Andrew McCutchen, for me, is going to be the MVP. And you say, why, Drew? Because I know you got all these numbers, and I'm really surprised Spilly picked a pitcher. I'm a little disappointed.
You want to know why Spilly picked a pitcher?
No, can I finish first?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw has appeared in only 16% of his team's games. Andrew McCutchen, 88%.
That's a fair ball. By the way, that was a weird reaction by Uribe. It's like he thought that was a foul ball by a considerable margin. It was fair, and it's a double for Stubbs. Are you done? I don't want to interrupt you, counselor.
I'm done.
You gavel. The gavel's down. Okay. If I may have the floor for a moment.
For a couple minutes.
Our friend Ryan Spilborghs is absolutely right.
No,
he gets it. As a former position player, he realizes that this was one extraordinary year. You're right. He pitched in only 16% of the games. But if he was replaced, let's say, he won 21 games.
Right.
And they won 2 more, I believe 3 more, or 2 more when he had left the game and didn't get a decision. So 23 times out of 27 starts, they won. Only 4 times did they lose. Let's hypothetically say that he was replaced because he wasn't on this team by a guy who went 500. That if those 27 games they won, I'll give you even 14 and 13 because it's an odd number. 14. That is 9 games less. So you take 9 wins off the Los Angeles Dodgers total right now, and they may not be a playoff team if Clayton Kershaw was not on their club. We've seen pitchers have good years. Adam Wainwright's had a terrific year. Johnny Cueto's had a terrific year. The year this guy's had is one of the greatest years in the history of starting pitching. So I understand what you're saying, but he deserves to be the MVP.
If there's ever a year that I thought a pitcher should be considered, this year would be it. And he would be in some company with the Dodgers, because you think back, there was another guy here by the name of Sandy Koufax that was both the MVP and the Cy Young, and that was in '63.
Well, here are the last 5 pitchers to win. All-American League pitchers, interestingly. Verlander in 2011, Eck in 92. You go back, Roger Clemens, 86. Willie Hernandez out of the bullpen. That was a strange one in 84. Raleigh Fingers. 3 of those 5 were bullpen guys, were 9th inning guys. Rutledge doesn't get the bunt down. 81. The last National League pitcher to do it was the great Bob Gibson in 68 when he had the 1.12 ERA. Do you know who was second in the MVP voting in 68 in the National League?
No.
Pete Rose. And third was Willie McCovey. Let's get Mark's take on this. Mark, who do you like?
I think you said it well, Drew, in that the game has changed a little bit this year as it's going more towards pitching. And Kershaw is the reason why people come to the ballpark. They come to see him pitch. They come to see if he can throw a complete game shutout, game in and game out. So for me, Kershaw is the MVP as well.
It would be Mark and Huey and Spilly and Jenny. it would be going against the argument that the sport is still about pitching. The most important guys are the guys that take the baseball at the start of the night. I mean, if you had your choice and you had, 5 great offensive players and 5 great pitchers, and then ordinary offensive players, typically which team's going to do better?
The pitching is. I get all of that, but I guess I'm saying from a position player standpoint, where I know how difficult it is to go out there and play day after day after day after day. And you can impact the game in a season more each and every night than somebody that's only out there once every 5 days. And 16% of the ball games that your team plays.
And I would say that most of the time you're right. And this year, when you have a guy who's been as dominant and missed 4 or 5, actually missed a half a dozen starts probably because he had the lat issue when he came back from Australia. I would agree with you. Walt would agree with you. We asked Walt before the game, and Walt said, he prefaced it, most years I think you have to defer to the position player. He said, but what this kid did this year is just silly.
Okay, so folks, before you start thinking, we actually don't have a vote on the MVPs or the manager. This is just for fun.
Yes, we do.
we do not get a vote. This is just us sitting around the table saying, this is who I would vote for.
Well,
and
it's
why.
a beautiful thing about sports, right?
Right.
Outside 3 and 2, by the way.
I will tell you this. He would be in my top 3 as far as getting a third place vote for MVP.
So you're not just being a contrarian.
No,
you honestly would vote for him this year?
I wouldn't vote for him.
No. They have that. Why do they have the Cy Young? To tell you who's the best pitcher. And they actually had to change that in '67 because up to that point, you could only pick one.
The Cy Young is for best pitcher. Most valuable players for most valuable players, not for most valuable offensive player. They have the Henry Aaron Award.
Yeah, but nobody knows about that. I mean, I
know what you're saying. It's not as publicized.
Yeah.
But I think when you look at the definition of most valuable player, Clayton Kershaw, and not only that, we're having fun debating it. He's going to win it, and it's going to be almost unanimous in my estimation. In my estimation. It's game 160, Huey.
I hear you.
The language is not flowing real well. 3-2 on Rutledge. Stubbs at second. Scott Elbert is throwing in that Dodger pen. We showed him a moment ago. Ball 4, so Rutledge draws a walk. And that'll bring up DJ.
Second baseman, number 9, DJ LeMahieu.
There's also that other argument that pitchers like to make. Kershaw's faced 749 batters this year. Andrew McCutchen, who I think now has moved ahead of, unfortunately, Stanton got hurt. Stanton in the MVP race has 639 plate appearances.
Okay.
Just saying. Hey, did you know that money generated from hunting and fishing in our state creates jobs and protects wildlife? So when you see a hunter or angler, give them a hug. Learn more at hugahunter.com.
I can tell your dad was an attorney.
Yeah. Third well. Tomorrow we're going to do Rookie of the Year and Manager of the Year. Sunday we'll do Cy Young. I mean, that's going to be real difficult in the National League. There's a former ROI, 1988 American League. You can look it up, Walt Weiss. The American League Cy Young is going to be a very interesting. I don't even want to say, well, it'll be a debate, but there's a number of candidates, a number of worthy candidates. This ball's lined to the left, get down. Stubbs had to hold up, make sure Crawford couldn't make the catch, so they're loaded up for Jordan Lyles.
Just throw out another double like you did back in the third inning. That'll work here. Inside the bag at third base.
One and one. This will be the last batter for Hernandez. You figure with Blackman on deck. It'll be Elbert coming in. Jock Peterson, their top prospect, is in the ballgame. He's in right field. Scott Van Slyke is at first base. Adrian Gonzalez, Yasiel Puig have come out. Ethier is slid over to center field. 2-1 on Lyles, a very good hitting pitcher. Bases loaded. Rockies are up 3-1.
times we said ow and seen that tonight. Foul balls off the ankles, foot, hands, elbows.
Good athlete, competitive guy, battling away. Lyles against Hernandez here in the 6th inning.
Heads up still.
Rockies have good speed on base. Stubbs at third, Rutledge at second, LeMahieu at first. 1 out. And this is popped up middle of the diamond. Infield fly rule. Gordon's got it. And with Blackman coming up, Charlie's not even moving. He's just waiting for Don Mattingly to come up the stairs and make the pitching change.
Here he comes.
Left field, number 19, Charlie Blackman.
So Blackman, who's 2 for 3, and the one time he didn't get a hit, he drove Yasiel Puig to deep right center field to make a catch. Will face the left-hander Scott Elbert with the bases loaded in the 6th when we come back to Dodger Stadium. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford Super Duty. Built better, built stronger, built Ford tough. By Southwest Airlines, without a heart, it's just a machine. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Rockies up 3-1 at Chavez Ravine. They have the bases loaded. They're 2 outs. Charlie Blackman is going to face Scott Elbert. Charlie, a sharp single to right in the first, a bunt single in the third, and then that deep drive to right center field that was caught by Puig. Outside, ball 1.
Elbert's kind of worked his way back into the Dodger plans. Just 5 appearances. Say why? Well, he had Tommy John surgery back in June of last year. 24 games appeared in between Albuquerque, A-ball, rookie ball. And his contract selected back on September 12th.
There's that bullpen ERA we were mentioning earlier, 22nd. You have to clean that up in the postseason. 2-1. I'll say one thing about Kershaw, who won on Wednesday, 8 innings, 117 pitches, just 1 run, punched out 11, no walks. Kershaw in the postseason is 1-3 with an ERA above 4.
But
2-2.
all the votes are cast before the playoffs.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that, but personally, he's aware of that, and he wants to show naturally the same dominance in the postseason that he has in the regular season. Had a conversation today with Bob Nightingale, who does such a terrific job covering baseball for USA Today. Bob's a big fan, naturally everybody in baseball is, of Kershaw, and he said it'd really be interesting to see if he pitched, say, in the American League East, where you were facing that extra hitter and some of those tremendous lineups night in and night out. See what kind of numbers he'd put up in the American League, and I'm sure that they'd still be dominant. Yeah, they'd still be dominant. And this ball's fouled off.
And I'm not discounting anything he did. I mean, he's on a different planet compared to everybody else pitching-wise. That has nothing to do with my argument as far as why I don't think he should win the MVP. I would take him as the #1 pick over probably a position player because of what he does. If you're starting a team. But I'm just saying.
There's only a handful of ones in the game, and he's the one.
Right.
2-2 on Charlie, bases loaded. 3-2 on Blackman.
Looking for a unique venue to hold your holiday event? Well, it's a fantastic event spaces and on-site catering. Coors Field is your answer. For more information, call 303 Rockies.
3-2, runners going, and was it a foul ball? Nope. Struck him out. And they'll get the out at first base. So Elbert got Blackman to chase. Rockies leave the bases loaded in the 6th. They have a 3-1 lead. Stretch to good use. Get First Bank's free checking at efirstbank.com. Rockies up 3-1. Jordan Lyles has pitched a very nice ball game. He's still out there. Justin Morneau hit a 2-run home run. He leads the National League in batting average right now. Close race with Josh Harrison and also Andrew McCutchen. And Charlie Blackmon has a couple of outfield assists in this game. Jordan completing his warm-up pitches.
Only 69 pitches for Jordan.
Got a pinch hitter here for Elbert. Darwin Barney is going to pinch hit. Boy, this could be a cruel game. Remember a couple years ago, you figured Darwin Barney was going to be the Cubs' second baseman for, for a while, right?
That's why they traded DJ. Because they had DJ and Darwin about the same time, and DJ was a half a step ahead of him on the depth chart. And they thought they had Darwin Barney. He won a Gold Glove, but he just couldn't find the offense to go with it.
And he probably will not be on the 25-man roster in the first round. Justin Turner obviously will be on that 25-man roster, and the guy that they like a lot in terms of a backup shortstop is Alex Guerrero if they can't play Hanley and they need some help defensively.
That's where when they have that, the roster doesn't have to be set until right before that.
I'm sorry, I said
no, it's
Miguel Rojas.
Forgive
me, yeah. Miguel Rojas,
who played earlier this year for him. But yeah, Rojas can pick it.
Auto glass damage, trust SafeLight at safelight.com or on the phone at 303-287-5000. This Kershaw. Hey. Next time he throws, at least on television, will be next Friday. He was not scheduled to go in this series. We'll reiterate that Dan Herron and Zach Greinke will pitch in the series with the Rockies. They're not going to throw 100+ pitches. There's Greinke.
It would be more, how do they feel? Do they think after 75 pitches they're good and they'll get out of there?
Yeah, that's probably the number, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. Because at this point in the season, as many innings as they've thrown and their arms built up, if they just throw 75, they can come back the next time and throw 115 or whatever Don decides they warrants for the game.
The funny thing is and the Rockies went through this famously in 2007. You almost conduct like a mini spring training if you're Mattingly. Now Monday they'll get off, you'd assume, but Tuesday, Wednesday, and even Thursday they'll have workouts.
Yes. They won't have to travel, but it's just not that same dynamic as what you go through preparing for a game.
Gordon, that one's fair, and Noah can't get him. It's a great bunt by Gordon. He's not afraid, as we talked about, to bunt with 1 or 2 strikes, and he just did there with 1. Noah couldn't do any more.
No, he could.
Just too fast.
Well, it helps when he's coming from the left side of the box, a half step closer to first base. I mean, compare this to Charlie's bunt. It's not the same. Charlie's was on the dirt, but just the speed of outrunning it. And Noah comes in, makes a strong throw on the money. Nothing wrong there. It's just a faster runner, D. Gordon.
So 2 on, nobody out in the 6th inning. Seeing eye single and a bunt single. Jock Peterson is at the plate. First at bat for Peterson. Scott Van Slyke on deck.
Not only one of the top prospects for the Dodgers, one of the top prospects in all of baseball.
Well, there's one 30-30 man in the sport this year, professionally. You know who that is?
Well, it's got to be Trout.
Trout didn't steal bases this year like he has in the
right.
past.
He's got the home runs. He's got 35 home runs.
You're looking at him. Jock Peterson at Albuquerque hit 30-plus home runs, 30-plus RBIs. He's the only guy in professional baseball to be a 30-30 man this year. Fouled up. Peterson is one of those guys, Huey, that fills up every category. Some good and some not so good. I mean, he can run, he can hit for power, he's hit for average, he walks a lot. He had over 100 walks this year. He also had 170-plus strikeouts.
Well, you can see he swings hard every time. Just on that last pitch that he fouled off.
Grew up in Northern California.
Watch too the way he gets his load, but then he'll start to drift towards the pitcher.
And this is a high pop-up playable for Rutledge. Infield fly rule was invoked.
That was the borderline infield fly rule. But again, check out Manny Gonzalez. He's watching. He's looking at the height of the baseball. And then out of the corner of the screen there, you can see him put his hand up and start to point to the sky. Not only is he pointing to it, he's also yelling it out, infield fly, so everybody knows.
One out, and Scott Van Slyke is at the plate. When people talk about the logjam in the outfield all year with the Dodgers, you know, it's been Kemp and Ethier and Puig and Crawford. Scott Van Slyke doesn't get mentioned. Then you stop and you look at his numbers and you say, yeah, he warrants playing time also.
He had 2 home runs in opening day in Australia. Van Slyke did. Or maybe it was 1 opening day and then another one.
He has a base hit here. And Barney is coming home. He will score. Ball gets away, and now Gordon's going to move up, and he's safe there. And the trail runner, Van Slyke, goes to second. 3-2. And the go-ahead run in scoring position in Van Slyke.
Well, this is going to go down as a base hit and an RBI, and unfortunately an error to Charlie in left field. And it shouldn't be, because you'll see here in a moment, where is Jordan Lyles? What is he doing standing out in front of home plate? He should be behind. If he's behind, he would see that, and D. Gordon wouldn't advance. See, he should be here. He should be back in this area over there. But instead, he's here. And he has to fight to get through that runner. Teaching point at home, kids. There's always a place for you to be on the baseball field.
Turner fouls it off. You see pitchers, forget that from time to time, or they get caught up in the disappointment of maybe the pitch they just made.
Well, how many times have we seen him act as a cutoff man when they shouldn't be there?
Turner's grounded second twice. There's one out. Rockies infield back, conceding the run, and this will get a run home. It'll get 2 home, maybe. Nope. Now he's coming home, and he will score.
Well, that was all on Lorenzo Bundy, the third base coach for the Dodgers.
DJ trapped the baseball, and I don't know, he may have gotten hurt because he was slow getting up. And he stayed down after he trapped the baseball because Van Slyke had initially stopped. And Bundy, the former Rocky coach many moons ago, saw that. He said there's no way he's going to be able to throw the baseball lying on his stomach, so he sent him.
I just hope this isn't a knee issue for DJ. Figure one's going to score. He tried to make the throw and immediately went down. So he dives. It doesn't look like anything there until he makes the throw.
Whoops. Signal to, okay, he's making a pitching change. Thought he was signaling to the dugout for a moment to replace LeMahieu. DJ talking to Keith Duggar. Now this inning, it's always an inning, it seems like, and Jordan had pitched well for 5 innings. This 6th inning's gotten away from him. It's been a mental lapse that hurt him and was on himself. So now he walks off trailing 4-3 as Franklin Morales comes on. Back at all the moments on and off the field that made this special season on Rockies Real Time. From the building of the rooftop patio at Coors Field to Michael Kadire building his own bat at the Louisville Slugger Factory. Each story takes you behind the scenes with the team you follow. So relive the 2014 Rockies Real Time season with us this evening, right after the ball game here in LA. Jordan Lyles is gone after 5 1/3. Carl Crawford coming up against Franklin Morales with Justin Turner at first base, and no other really way to score it. Justin Turner will get a single and 2 RBIs.
Yeah, because there was no stop sign at third base. They just kept waving Van Slyke to go ahead and score. So Justin had 2, and the previous play prior to that was Van Slyke with the single, and it was an E7 on Charlie.
Lyles gave up 4 of the 8 hits he allowed in the 4th inning.
In the 6th inning.
Did I say? I'm sorry, in the 6th inning. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 4.
I mean, 3 of the 4 were the seeing eye that barely made it out of the infield. They still count.
Strike at the knees at 91, so it's 1-1 on Crawford. 1 for 2 tonight. And that's a base hit. Turner will stop at second.
Center fielder, number 16, Andre Easy.
Ethier's 0 for 2 tonight. Strikeout. And yeah, he did. He flew into a double play. He had a fly ball to left that was caught near the line, and Crawford was running with the pitch, had gone all the way around second, and Charlie Blackmon threw him out trying to get back to first base. That happened in the second inning. 4-3 Dodgers. The little things determine the outcome so frequently in baseball, really in sports. You had Blackmon getting picked off, and literally on the next pitch, Morneau hit what would have been a 3-run home run. It was reduced by a run. Lyles fails to back up, and you have runners at first and second. And then the base hit by Turner would probably just load the bases.
Well, and you might pitch differently to him with runners at first and second. And he might approach it differently as he's stepping into the box. But it's just baseball's always about little plays. We think about one swing or one pitch. Well, what preceded all of that?
So important to keep your focus.
And the other thing too, and one thing I had learned as a player is play to the scoreboard. You know, when you see the scoreboard, that dictates sometimes how you play the game, whether you're just getting an out here or an out there, compared to sometimes you have to play the infield in because you can't give up another run. Whatever it is, you always have to look at the scoreboard to me, and that's how you play it.
3-2 with one out. Now, DJ obviously is not right. He's coming off the field, and Charlie Culberson will take over.
Their attention, please, has changed defensively for the Rockies. Now playing second base for the 23, Charlie Culberson.
He's been one of the
Just
few
knowing how tough
Rockies.
he is.
Yeah, he's been one of the few Rockies that's been immune to injury this year.
Got him at second base this year. Just he really bent his ankle awkwardly and had to tape it up. I forget who it was, but he was back out there the next day, even with it heavily wrapped.
Ball 4. Morales has walked Ethier, and the bases are loaded for Uribe. Uribe has hit it on the ground twice, once to third, once to second. Frankie needs a ground ball here. Rockies trailing 4-3, and that's inside on one.
Pretty impressive numbers with the bases loaded. 124 RBIs, 5 grannies.
That's back up the middle. That'll score one. Here comes Crawford home. Throw on the way. No tag. Crawford scores. A 2-run single by Uribe. And it is 6-3 Los Angeles. 53rd and 54th RBIs on the season.
Well, this is not getting greedy if you're Juan Uribe. The hip rotation, back elbow, tight to the body. Pitch was away from him. He just took what Franklin gave him with the pitch, driving in the 2-run.
Well, a moment ago we showed a graphic, if you look at Don Mattingly, that Juan Uribe in his career, you said he's got great numbers. He's got 5 career grand slams, basically a 290 average, driven in 124. I was talking to Mattingly earlier tonight. Somehow we got into the conversation. I brought it up. He wouldn't have brought it up. But when he hit a home run in 8 straight games, it was 1986. He also that year hit 6 grand slams. And I was mentioning that to Walt about the home runs in 8 straight games. And Walt said, remember the year he hit 6 grand slams? I said it was the same year. And he said, that's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of. 6 grannies in 1 year. Because, look, Uribe's had a great career. He's hit 5 grannies.
In a career.
In a career. He hit 6 in 1 season.
Wasn't that the year he got off to a slow start?
You have a good memory. He had 6 home runs, Huey, right before the All-Star break, 5 games before, and then he starts hitting home runs. He hits a home run in 5 straight games. Then you have the All-Star break. You figure out, he'll probably get a cool off, a few days off. They go to Texas, the Yankees do. And he's facing an old teammate of yours, the knuckleballer.
Charlie Huff.
Yeah, Charlie Huff. He takes Huff deep. The next night, the wind's blowing in at Old Arlington Stadium. And he said, there's no way I'm going to hit one out. And he hits like a 1-iron that cuts through the wind. It just gets over the right field wall. 7 straight. And then I think it was against Juan Guzman, sinker baller.
Jose Guzman.
Guzman, that's right. The 8th game, these are Don's words. He goes, I've only hit about 3 balls out to the opposite field my whole career. He said he's getting sinkers away, and he hits one down the left field line, just snuck over the wall. 8 straight games. He hit 10 home runs actually during that stretch. So he went from 6 home runs. The boss is getting on him. Right, up to your power.
Why am I paying you all this money?
Right. 10 days later, he's got 16. That's some kind of roll.
He used to hit from that crouch and just, it was fun to, I mean, he was a magician with the bat.
3-2 on Butera. Strike 3? No. Wow, I thought that was in the zone. Evidently it was a little high. And the bases are loaded once again.
And they're hitting around. Darwin Barney's led this inning off with that little base hit up the middle.
And Frankie has come in. Unfortunately, he hasn't gotten anybody out. 2 hits, 2 walks. This game, if the Rockies aren't careful, is going to run away from them in the 6th inning. Rob Scahill's up now. And here comes Walt. Morales will hand the baseball to his manager, and Rob Scahill will try to get the Rockies off the field here in the 6th inning. Look back. Rockies trailed 1-0 early, and then they would take a 3-1 lead on this swing of the bat by Justin Morneau. He had a 2-run home run there. And Jordan Lyles made it hold up for a while, and then in the 6th inning, things have gotten away from him and the guys that have come in after him. Actually, Franklin Morales came in after him, and he gave up some hits and a couple of walks. When Barney comes up, he'll be the 10th man to hit in the inning. That look back brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has a new address, opening Greenwood Village in Colorado Springs. Cahill inherits a bases loaded situation. Ethier at third, Uribe at second, Gutierrez at first.
Well, one thing that's kind of plagued Rob in his 3rd stint with the Rockies this year, 12 2/3 innings, 8 walks. There's 8 walks, 8 strikeouts. Back to being aggressive within the zone.
Well, Barney drives this ball to left. Tagging and coming home is Ethier. And it's 7-3. Gordon had a bunt single and would score. Well, Gordon came in 0 for 14. He's 3 for 3 tonight. Book on Jordan Lyles closed, 5 1/3, and he gave up 5 runs, all of them earned, and 4 of those runs obviously in that 6th inning, or the 6th inning. It's still going on. 8 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out 4 in his final appearance of the year. Cahill gloves it, and that's all. 11 come to the plate for the Dodgers. 6 score. 7-3 Los Angeles as we go to the 7th.
We head to the 7th inning, and it's our final Fan Friday. Wanted to get a tweet on from Asia, who wants to know about Nolan Arenado and whether or not Nolan's going to be back for the last couple of games. You can see her tweet there. Had a conversation with Nolan today. It was kind of neat. He had his Jeter respect shirt on with the number 2. he is not going to play for the rest of this year. He did come out in the dugout and just kind of looked around, and he said to me, I love it here. I love Dodger Stadium. And then he said, but I don't play well here. And I said, what do you mean? You hit your first home run here, didn't you? And he said, oh, yeah. And I said, I did some numbers on you, and you hit over 300 in, I think it was 6 parks this year, and you hit 364 at Dodger Stadium. So he said, oh, all right, well, maybe I played well this year. Nolan had a really nice year this year. Unfortunately, he was cut short by injury. He played 111 games. Yeah, there are the parks that he hit over 300 at. Coors is on there, of course, and Dodger Stadium right in the middle. Guys, he was great in interleague play. He hit 365 against the American League. Turner Field's not on there either. He went 1 for 1 there, and then, of course, slid into second on that hit, and that's when he had that mallet fracture of his finger. And he told me that he heard that Andrew McCutchen did that the other day for the Pirates and almost got injured but didn't. But always good to see Nolan here in Southern Cal. He loves it here.
Well, and it's nice to see that 4 teams in the National League West are on that list.
Paco Rodriguez on the hill. Miguel Rojas is at shortstop now. Justin Turner's come out of the game. And I think the Dodgers are going to do this throughout the weekend. Play their regulars for 5-6 innings and then get them out of there. Paco's first pitch misses. Ball 1 on Rafi Inoa Morneau and Kadire on deck. Just to follow up on what Mark was telling you about Nolan Arenado. He finishes the year at 287, 18 home runs, 61 ribbies, 34 doubles. He had a slugging percentage of .500, OPS of .828, and he played Gold Glove defense again. He is a budding superstar.
He'll have just a short ride after the game on Sunday to get home.
That's right. Big swing from Inoa. 1-2. Rockies down 7-3. Fouled off. Well, yesterday was a special day for anybody that follows sports. Forget whether you're a baseball fan or more specifically a Yankee fan. We were all at dinner watching this together, and we were in disbelief because Hollywood came to life. A Hollywood script came to life with Derek Jeter singling in his final game in the Bronx, a walk-off winner. This is to deep short, and that's going to get on through a base hit for Inoa. We were in disbelief. I mean, come on now. That's not going to happen. And it was 5-2 going to the ninth. I
know, but in all fairness, though, Mike Fox, our producer, 10 minutes before it happened, called it.
And we so rarely pay attention.
You said no. Yeah, there's no way. This is. They wouldn't even script that in Hollywood.
Well, exactly, because we so rarely pay attention to what Mike says. And then he came out of that, and I said, come on, Mike. And Mike's a writer on the side. Mike writes children's books. And I said, that's what you're writing here, Mike. Come on. And he was right on. They didn't give him a hit on that. That's not right. They gave the kid an error. Rojas.
I think the way he attacked that, we're trying to get over and get in front of it with his glove instead of just backhanding it, just looked awkward.
You've always told me, when in doubt, go backhand.
That's right. That's why you practice it. Get up.
Yep, base hit for Morneau, his second of the ball game. He started that at bat, percentage points behind. .359 behind Josh Harrison, who's done for the evening. So he just moved back in front.
We had this the other day where I had to count it out to all the thousands, and I had trouble with it. So now all I know is he's back ahead of him at 319. Well, that's good.
You remember when Todd lost the batting title by literally hundredths of a point to Albert Pujols. Brandon League's going to come in. So he now moves up to, what do you got, Huey?
319.
That a baby. Brandon League's on for the 62nd time. Rockies trying to counter here, down by 4 runs. Eno at second, Morneau at first, Kadire with nobody out. So Justin at 319, Josh Harrison at 318, and last year's MVP Andrew McCutchen at 314.
What did you say about McCutchen? Last year's MVP?
Last year's MVP.
My pick this year. Just had to get that in one last time.
Not a bad selection. He's going to finish second. He'll finish second. Stanton will finish third. We're looking at those 68 numbers. The last time a National League pitcher won an MVP was Bob Gibson with that extraordinary year, 1.12. His record, if you recall, folks, was 22-9. And you and I are looking at each other going, how did he lose 9 games? That's a base hit. Enoa around third. He'll get green lighted. Here's the throw by Crawford. Out at the plate.
I didn't think Crawford had a chance at all to throw out Enoa.
This one's close.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at it if I'm Walt. Walk out here. Watch the left hand just sneak in onto the plate.
I think he's safe.
I think he is too. Fingers on right now.
He's safe. And Walt engaging Jim Reynolds in a conversation, looking back at the dugout.
They are going to take an extra look at this.
This manager's challenge brought to you by Subaru's EyeSight Driver Assist technology, a vigilant safety feature that gives peace of mind to every drive.
Well, this is going to be one of those ones that originally called out. Where's the tag? I think the fingers get right there onto the plate before the tag is applied.
And some of the folks in the crowd seeing it ooh and ah, as if to say, wait a second, I think that's going to go against the home team. And you remember, Walt can go out and ask for 2 things. Say, hey, I think he's safe, or he can say, I think he blocked the plate.
Yeah, kind of forget about that, even with the rule change that they had. Looking at it from that angle, he did give him a lane to slide into. It wasn't completely blocking the plate. So home plate umpire Jim Reynolds and the crew chief, Fielding Colbert.
Very quickly, we were talking about this earlier, and then we had to run off to a break. Kirk Gibson was fired today. Alan Trammell fired today by Arizona. But in an odd twist of things, maybe it's the Arizona way, because Kevin Towers was fired as GM a couple of weeks ago, and he has stayed on, and we just saw him in Denver. Alan Trammell's going to manage the last 3 games of the year.
It is unusual, to say the least, but the D-backs have also scored 3 in the 8th inning to tie up the Cardinals 6-6.
Does he become a candidate now?
Maybe, I don't know.
Fired as bench coach, now a candidate to be the next manager.
Yeah,
of the
but
Diamondbacks.
relieved of his duties, yet he's still going to manage the last 3 games of the season.
Mark Stout down at field level. Mark, what do you know?
Well, I've been on Twitter obviously tonight, and I saw
out still. Wow!
I called him out. I saw that some of the Arizona writers said that Kirk Gibson was given the option to manage the final 3 games, and he declined. Alan Trammell given the same option, and he accepted to stay on for the final games.
Interesting. I'm flabbergasted. There's been a couple lately that I'm perplexed on. He looks like he slaps the plate to me, and then the tags apply. Swung on and missed by Drew Stubbs.
And remember, this goes back to a crew in New York that are reviewing it and replaying it. Right there, you see the edge of his fingers get on the plate.
That's an enormous play. You're talking about 7-4 with nobody out and runners at first and second. Now it's first and second, 1 out, and you're still down by 4. That's a huge play. Crawford gets the assist. Crowd of 43,328 just announced. They've already sold out naturally game 1 of the divisional series next Friday night. And again a strikeout of Stubbs looking. Second time Drew's been caught looking tonight. Now they're 2 outs. Rosario come up.
Brandon Liga, former closer, 1 of 5 that they'd had on their staff.
Drew thought that was beneath the knees. It may have been. On the corner, 0-2.
Kind of gave Brandon League some life after that call out at the plate. Comes back and strikes out Stubbs, working ahead 0-2 to Willeen.
Yeah, the Rockies go from a promising inning to nothing on the board to show for their first 3 hits in a row. Nothing. 7-3 LA. take a look at our AT&T fan photo of the night. Oh, that forlorn look. This young man is at virtually every Rockies game, and he plays baseball as well. I think he goes to Cherry Creek, in fact. You see him quite frequently, and that's actually his senior picture. Senior for the yearbook.
Oh, they were also in Detroit this year.
Were they in Detroit?
They were in
I missed
Detroit,
that trip, but that's neat. Great Rockies fans. And we'll see you next spring. Tweet your photo to hashtag COFanPhoto. You have one more night to do it. It's brought to you by AT&T. Kyle Parker is going to take over for Michael Kadire in right field. Ben Paulson for Justin Morneau at first base. There's going to be some strategy employed here in the next couple of days by Walt Weiss, especially if Morneau can. Sunday, if he takes the lead in the 5th inning, he's coming off the field.
I'm going to just double check to see what time Pittsburgh plays tomorrow, because that'll determine too, how they do, because they're going to play a day game tomorrow. So you'll know what Harrison and McCutchen do prior to you making the lineup out here.
Yeah, you're right. Jock Peterson with a 1-1 count. Second at bat for Peterson. Popped out his first at bat. Rob Scahill still out there. He followed Franklin Morales tonight.
These two probably squared off at more than once down in the PCL. Colorado Springs and Albuquerque. Uh-oh.
Incoming.
Let's go along with all the beach balls that are hit here at Dodger Stadium. Well, they're playing from the upper deck.
2-2 on Peterson. Strike 3 on the outside corner. See you later. So a strikeout. And that'll bring up Scott Van Slyke. Well, our MVP candidate in the American League hit another home run, Huey.
Yeah.
Mike Trout hit his 36th tonight. Mariners leading 4-3 in Seattle in the 9th inning.
Not planning an event, don't strike out. Hit a dinger. Send an email to dinger@rockies.com or call 303-312-2266 for more information about having Dinger, the Rockies' beloved mascot, show up at your next special event.
Probably some bummed out fans at Fenway tonight who bought tickets to the final series with Jeter. As Jeter did not play tonight. He will play as a DH from all indications tomorrow and Sunday.
Yeah, just checking some prices of those tickets at Fenway for Sunday's ball game. They're pretty high. People trying to get in.
I guess they said yesterday in New York and the Bronx, the highest regular season tickets ever on StubHub and sites like that, were like minimum like $400 or $500.
Yes.
I guess somebody bought a pair of tickets earlier. John Reynolds, a friend of ours, actually, $6,500 a pop.
Well, he's got that kind of cash.
Yeah.
Do you see what Louisville Slugger is going to do, though? Because Derek Jeter, he uses a P72 model. They're going to retire that model completely.
Really?
They're no longer going to be able to get a P72. They're going to change it to a DJ2. I mean, you're going to the same model, but they'll no longer be a P72 model.
And that's pretty famous.
Yeah, I mean,
model.
it's like it's a lot like a C271.
271's most commonly
right,
used
but
bat,
P72
right?
is also a very common because of the width of the barrel and the handle. It's pretty balanced.
I'm surprised they didn't rename it to DJ2 like 10 years ago.
I think it's if I'm not mistaken, if it's not the first time, it's one of the rare times that Louisville Slugger has retired a particular model.
3-2 on Van Slyke. And this is tapped to third. Noah keeps those feet moving, like another thing you've always taught, Huey.
Fighting next, shortstop number 72, Miguel Rojas.
Keep your feet moving as an infielder. That's always a key. Close ground.
Justin Turner has been removed from the game an inning ago, so Miguel Rojas will hit here. Turner had a 2-run single in his final at bat of the ball game.
It's a little bit like spring training. The only difference is at least we get a roster now and we kind of know who some of these guys are during spring training.
And nobody runs in from the backfield with number 87 on their back.
With no name on their jersey.
They got to keep Rojas on their roster, Huey, not only because he's a good defensive shortstop, just in case, but in the games he's appeared in this year, the Dodgers are 30 games above 500.
That's the first thing I'd make sure they knew. if I'm Rojas.
It's the old Red Auerbach, the Hillman Victory cigar. 2-2.
Well, for the Dodgers, it's the 5th time since moving to LA that they've won back-to-back titles.
Been to the postseason 5 times in the last 9 years under Ned Colletti as their general manager. Last time they won back-to-back titles, Joe Torre was the skipper.
You can see is Tommy's not here tonight, or at least not sitting down in his seat by the dugout.
And Scahill strikes out Rojas. So a 1-2-3 7th inning for Rob Scahill. We'll go to the 8th. Rockies trailing by 4.
Go to the 8th inning. We're going to wrap up Fan Friday. Well, thank you for tweeting us all season long and being part of this. And a few people tweeted today, too. Thanks for a nice season on Root Sports. We appreciate that. Here's one from Amy saying, it doesn't seem like the manager's challenge ever goes our way. What do the stats show this season? On Baseball Reference, you can go under a manager's page, and it has those stats. And for Walt Weiss, it says 36 challenges, 14 overturned calls. Now, I didn't look at this chronologically, but it does seem like not a whole lot of them have gone the way of Walt Weiss. But that's the stats they have: 36 challenges, 14 overturned calls. So that's less than 50% by a few. I don't know what you guys think about. I'm sure replay will be tweaked. I know everybody wants it. I'm not a fan of it this year from what I've seen, but I'm sure it's not going anywhere.
I wouldn't say I'm not a fan of it, Mark, but it has been frustrating sometimes, like that last play that was reviewed. It seemed pretty clear that Inoue got his fingers on the plate before the tag was made. Miguel Rojas has moved to third base, and Arisbel Arubarena is in the ball game at shortstop. And Pedro Baez is on the mound for the Dodgers.
Kind of a wholesale change as they get their guys in and out, trying to figure out, make sure that just get some inning and some work in. 19th appearance for Baez.
Two strikes on Josh Rutledge. D. Gordon's still out there, right? Drew Butera's still catching.
Ethier and Crawford are still playing.
Well, one of the our favorite things about coming to Los Angeles, we get to see our close friend John Reynolds. John, wave to the good fans of Colorado.
Oh boy.
Yeah. John and I go way back working together. What did we first do? Beach volleyball? We did beach volleyball back in the early 90s. 1980? No, that was you, John. I wasn't there. And we actually did an open on a blimp once, driven by this guy Buddy the Blimp.
No
Buddy the
way.
Blimp, 9 years ago.
No.
You think I'm making this up?
Yeah, I do.
Arubarena on the move, and he flicks it across to get Rutledge. Buddy the Blimp, and I actually drove the Blimp. Did I not drive the Blimp for a little bit, JR? Was Foxy was with us too, right? Buddy the Blimp. I'm an excellent driver, don't you think? I'm an excellent blimp driver, don't you? Didn't you find me to be?
Is he a better blimp driver than he is a car driver?
There wasn't a lot of traffic up there. I didn't hit anything. There's no fender benders, nothing.
Good thing.
I'd forgotten about that. JR just ended this thing, Buddy the Blimp.
Buddy the Blimp.
9 years ago. One out. DJ LeMahieu replaced an inning ago. Had to come off the field.
Still no word.
Nothing yet. Like he twinged a knee. So this is the first at bat for Culberson. So anytime you want to go for a ride in a blimp, I'm your guy, Huey.
You're the guy?
Absolutely.
I'll remember that.
You don't seem too enthused.
No.
Matt McBride's come out in the on-deck circle.
What happened with George? Why was he with you?
He was with us in L.A. He was broadcasting
right,
that
night.
Right, that's
what I thought.
But Kay wouldn't give him a permission slip to go.
Hopefully he's asleep in Tulsa and didn't hear that.
Listen, I'm a journalist at heart. You just pass the facts along. JR, that's the story we had, right? Yeah. Did he say that? He was afraid of heights? He heard I was going to be driving at some point.
That's what scared him.
In the air to left field. Crawford's out there. Jim Tracy was a little upset with us that day when we landed it at second base, though.
You weren't delivering the game ball?
For the Rockies, pinch hitting, number 7.
Would have been a good idea. All right, McBride with 2 outs. Enough with Buddy the Blimp. Dodgers up 7-3 in the 8th inning.
We just got word about DJ. It's a left knee strain. So day to day.
Well, there's only 2 days left, so my guess is this ball's hit a long way by McBride, but it's going to die in the middle of the track. Crawford makes the catch. Well, we'll know more tomorrow. Obviously, you're not going to push it with 2 days left in the season. 7-3 Dodgers, middle of 8. Led 3-1 going to the 6th inning. And in the bottom of the 8th inning, Rex Brothers will get back on the hill. 73rd appearance for Rex.
Well, as bad as it's been for Rex this year with the 5.73 ERA, everything about an opponent's batting average, he's never once turned the baseball down. I mean, even this late in the season, whenever Walt wants him to go out there, he says, hey, give me the baseball. We talked about it. Have a chance to reflect in the offseason, figure out what you did right, what you did wrong, and change the things that were wrong and get ready for spring training.
Crawford fouls off the first pitch. Now, unless the Rockies rally in the ninth, this will be the final inning of work for a Rockies pitcher, and I know Walt would like to get LaTroy Hawkins 2 more appearances. He's sitting on 998. And there he is. And you know what?
Yeah.
This is going to be a situation where he's going to throw in this 8th inning. You have 2 lefties and then a righty due up. Ethier's on deck, and LaTroy is going to throw at least a third of an inning.
Good. You want him to get up to the 1,000-mark plateau.
Two and two. Again, earlier today, the Nats clinched home field advantage. They had to play back-to-back doubleheaders. They split with the Marlins today.
Back-to-back split doubleheaders.
Yeah, back-to-back split doubleheaders, but they will have home field advantage as long as they stay in the postseason, at least in the National League. As Huey mentioned earlier, the Pirates won again 3-1 over the Reds, so they still have a chance of winning the division. They put heat on the Cardinals.
Well, and the Cardinals just scored a run to go up 7-6 in the 10th inning.
In Phoenix. Brothers thought that was strike 3. Jim Reynolds did not. He's the boss, so it's 3-2. Corey Kluber won for the 18th time this year. The Indians beat the Rays 1-0.
18-9 for Kluber.
High fly ball to shallow right. Culberson gets called off by Kyle Parker. That's the way it's supposed to work. The outfielder has right away coming forward. And that'll bring up Andre Ethier.
Center fielder, number 16, Andre Ethier.
Orioles lost to the Blue Jays 4-2. The only reason now is significant is now the Angels have home field advantage throughout the American League postseason. Yankees won in Boston. Again, Jeter did not play. You know who got the save?
From Baltimore.
No, for the Yankees today.
I'm sorry for throwing all these names and numbers and teams.
I'm throwing you off.
Robertson
got the save. The day after the most pleasing blown save of his career. That's going to crawl through the left side. Ethier's got a knock.
And here comes Walt.
Shortstop number 11,
Arrubarena is due up. LaTroy Hawkins will come on for his 999th appearance when we come back.
Before that, just one last quick tweet, and this is one that I retweeted. It's Corey Dickerson and his wife. They are about to become parents for the first time. He's still waiting, he says, so we thought we'd retweet that pic for all the Rockies fans to see Corey. Guys?
Yeah, that's great. We wish the Dickersons all the best here in the coming hours and coming days. So LaTroy Hawkins on for the 999th time, 16th on the all-time appearance list. One out in the 8th inning. Ethier at first. Arrubarena is at the plate.
Just think about all the times not only he's appeared in the game, but how many times he's just thrown a baseball in his lifetime, whether, you know, growing up, now in the bullpen, playing catch before batting practice, and yet he could still go out there and throw 94 miles an hour.
He had a funny line. The Rockies were stretching in San Diego, and Dave Winfield had come by, and different guys were talking to him, and LaTroy was standing up talking to him, and so the guys were giving him a hard time, saying, "Hey, we're stretching." You know, LaTroy, he says, "I'm talking to a Hall of Famer."
Well, because LaTroy is cut from that old school cloth where you don't, I mean, you're on time for stretching. You know, there's a hierarchy on the bus and on the plane. And the rookie should be seen and not heard. Because that's
how he learned.
That's how he learned, yeah.
That's how you learned.
That's how I learned, exactly.
Williams got a hustle. Good throw. It's not an easy play. Time for our Century Link. What's next? Here's the link to what's next. Tomorrow's pitching matchup. The Dodgers will throw Dan Herron. It'll be his 32nd start of the year, 13-11 with a 4.03 ERA. And Eddie Butler will get his third start, and coming off his first career victory in which he threw the ball very well. So Butler tomorrow against the Dodgers. His first career start came against the Dodgers.
And his first start out on the road for Eddie.
Drew Butera at the plate. Drew's 0 for 2 and a walk. Change up. 1 ball, 1 strike. And LaTroy's got it. He gets the baseball back from Ben Paulson for a souvenir. 999 appearances. 7-3 Los Angeles in the 9th inning. Time to go back to Denver and visit with Jenny and Huey. Did I say Jenny and you?
Yes, you did.
Well, you're back.
I'm back. A quick trip. But I think Spilly's got it covered back there with Jenny.
There's too many Y's. J.P. Howley. J.P. Howell's on the hill for the Dodgers. He's had an extraordinary year. He's been very good, very reliable for Los Angeles. The league's hitting just 181 against Howell. The Rockies in the 9th inning will have Charlie Blackmon, Rafi Inoa, and Ben Paulson.
And who knows, this might be the only guy that JP faces tonight. Just trying to get him that one hitter, one appearance. And Brian Wilson is also warming up in the bullpen for the Dodgers.
Pitch inside on Charlie. Blackman's 2 for 4 tonight. Two and 0. Here's our Subway in-game box. Morneau, a couple hits. Moved in front in the batting race in front of Josh Harrison with the 2 hits tonight. 2 and 1. One out. Fans follow at Root Sports _RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special. You can get ahead of next season. Just get that taken care of on Twitter, and you'll know when the Rockies score 7 or more runs.
If you've ever dreamed of becoming a Colorado Rocky, sign up for Fantasy Camp now, taking place at Salt River Field at Talking Stick, February 4th through the 8th, 2015. Visit Rockies.com/fantasy camp for details. But sign up. Sign up for Fantasy Camp.
It's a blast. We have a lot of fun every year. And there's a large contingent of folks that come back every year because it's so much fun.
Talk about a first-class operation.
Howell misses there, 2 and 1. This ball stroked up the middle, and Gordon got Inoa by a quarter step. Great play by Gordon as he robs Rafi of what would have been his second hit of the night.
Well, a couple plays tonight. First, a slide at home for Rafi. Now this play at first base. D. Gordon knocks it down, and it just stayed right there for him to be able to make the throw. And then the stretch from Van Slyke, who's 6'5". was out.
Outside ball one on Paulson. Ben's first at bat. Came in for Morneau an inning and a half ago defensively.
It's a final in 10. St. Louis beat Arizona 7-6.
This ball's in the air to deep center field, and it's over Ethier's head, and it's out of the ballpark. Ben Paulson with an opposite field home run to make it 7-4.
How about the two left-handers hitting third in the lineup tonight? First it was Justin Morneau with the opposite field home run.
This one's left on a breaking ball.
Right, and about the same location that Justin hit his. They stayed through that one. With the leverage and extension. That'll be it for JP.
Well, Don Mattingly just wants to get a little work for Brian Wilson. So Wilson will come on with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Ben Paulson has made it 7-4. Authority, the Colorado Rockies may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. So Brian Wilson with 2 outs and nobody on will face Kyle Parker. And Parker lines it to left, but Crawford is there, so it's 1 pitch, and that will end the ball game. Dodgers come from behind and win it 7-4 tonight over the Rockies. Rockies had a 3-1 lead they could not hold. The Dodgers improved to 92 and 68. And the Rockies fall to 66 and 94. Our Jimmy John